Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in for our mindful motivation for mindset mastery. I trust you had a lovely weekend and are enjoying the vibe of this month of June. The energy of June is a little bit softer and a little bit more flowing than what we've been through up until this point, particularly in May. I think in May we had a lot of sort of pressurized energies that were really kind of bringing things up for us to resolve or to face up to. But now we're into the month of June. It's about really doing a check-in with yourself. In fact, always these mindset mastery types of sessions are about checking in and following your own inner guidance. I always put my hand over my heart when I sort of think about that. But if you've watched these before, you know that I like to pull different cards from 4 different decks of cards we use for these sessions. But also, before we get into that, to just kind of check in to see what phase of the moon are we being influenced by this week. And it's actually the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Virgo that will be arriving with us on the 14th. So we have a few days, but it's nice to just be aware of it, because whether we're aware of the influence of the lunar cycles or not, they are affecting us at a very deep level. So with it being in the sign of Virgo, that's about routines and doing things, and sometimes doing the things that we don't really want to or don't like to. But it's also about having a fresh perspective. Something that I think is really important is to... Sorry, I've got something popping up on my computer there. Something that I think is really important is to make sure that the masculine and feminine aspects of you are in alignment with your choices, your decisions, your path forward. And what I mean by that is I'm referencing the being and doing. So that's something that's such a crucial part of these sessions, and a crucial part of this idea of being in alignment with your gifts, with your essence, with your truth, is to really allow yourself to find your rhythm. What is the right and best way for you? And so that actually will shift and change. And so this is a time, this week and this moon phase is encouraging us to look at things from a different perspective. Maybe even step out of our comfort zone. Maybe even look at things to work out a different way forward. Maybe if something's not serving you anymore, you can actually say thank you, that was then, this is now, and choose a different way. So this is about also finding your people, finding the ways that you best collaborate, because there's another piece around this energy too, that potentially working with other people, working with and gravitating towards people who get you. And of course, when we do that, there's no right or wrong here. There's always about just being very mindful of what lights you up. So this idea that I just said about the getting your balance, about the being and doing, I also really think that's such an important part. Virgo is very analytical, so that's very much going to be your head energy, your thinking, but it's so important to also balance that with what's your heart guiding you towards? And do you create space and time to regularly check in with what is right for you? What that direction comes from your heart. So all that being said, if I say anything in these sessions that discombobulate you, or that you need some more support or guidance, put it in the comments below or message me directly. My intention with these sessions has always been to help you really tap into your own inner wisdom, your inner guidance. And so that's such an important part too, to remember, are you listening? Are you listening to your inner guidance? Actually, after I finish this, I'll put a link in the comment section for you to go and access a kit that I've put together to really help also with that idea of tapping into your superpower, your inner wisdom. But now I'm just shuffling my letting go guidance cards, because you know how I said this is about stepping into a different way. This is about maybe thinking about things out of the box or stepping out of your comfort zone. That will always bring up something that has maybe served its purpose, that was good for a certain amount of time, but doesn't belong to who you've become or who you're becoming. So that's why we start these sessions with the letting go. So let's see, what can we lovingly, kindly, with gratitude, let go of in order to stay on track or recalibrate. Oh, this is an interesting one. So this one's loneliness. So that's interesting that came up when I said about working with others and finding your people who actually really get you. So sometimes if we sit in a paradigm of I'm lonely and nobody gets me and I'm all alone, of course we never are. We never are alone. So if that's coming up for you, then thank it and release it and see what can you do that will help you feel more connected energetically, and maybe even the connection between your head and your heart. But then also interact with other people. Like, is there groups that you could go and check out? Is there relationships that you've kind of not evolved with or not checked in with? Things of that nature. So just see, how can you release the propensity to feel alone or feel lonely, and look at what you do have. Okay, so now moving on, I'm going to pull a tarot card. Take a nice deep breath here. Pull one tarot card, and then I'll do 3 of the healing with the angels, smoothing out this energy for us. So let's see what comes up. Beautiful. It's the 3 of Pentacles. Actually, you know, whenever I see 3s in the tarot, it always makes me think of the Trinity, head, heart, and higher self. So how aligned, how on track do you feel with your head, heart, and higher self? You know, the 3 of Pentacles also speaks very much of collaboration, but not only just collaboration, but doing something. And it could be a creative outlet, it could be something business-wise or project-wise that makes your heart sing, that gives you a sense of prosperity and well-being and abundance. So where is that? And is that a new opportunity, or is that something that you can now pick up or revitalized or realign with? So feel into that. And you know, I say abundance too and prosperity. That can be money in the bank, of course, but it could also be just feeling really healthy and well in your own vessel, your physical body. So how does that feel? And are you doing those things and attracting those things and saying yes to those things that really help you feel physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually well? That's a really big piece here too. So something that maybe it is time to reinvigorate or reset or change things up a wee bit. Good time for that too. Okay, so now I'm going to get our 3 healing with the angels cards, and then I've wrapped these sessions up with one of my liberate your inner truth, because that's actually the whole purpose, the guiding principle of these sessions that I come and do with you. Excellent. This is really good, actually. I like how the cards will come up, and it's almost like the cards have a sense of humor because they just tapped into what I was just talking about. So the first one is friendship. I was talking about your tribe. So feeling into that connection. And are there new friendships? Are there friendships that you need to, or you could, get back in touch with? And of course, always keep in mind, when I see that card too, I always think that there's such a strong reminder to remember to be your own best friend. First and foremost, we must be our own best friend. And then, of course, it helps us gravitate towards people who really see us and love us and get us and resonate with who we are at the core, the very truth of us. It's also, and I mentioned that too about this first quarter phase of the moon in Virgo, very much about balance. So what does balance mean to you? Do you need to release things that are maybe keeping you feeling like you have to, or you should, or you're too busy, or you're doing too much? Remember I said about getting into that balance of being and doing. And I also referenced, this is what made me giggle, was this one is body care. So I like thinking of the sacred self-care. You've probably heard me talking about sacred self-care. Everything that you do, whether you're looking after your physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual well-being, it's sacred self-care. So check into your body. The body is the physical form that grants us the capacity, the capability, the vehicle to have this experience, this spiritual experience. I always like to remember that, and that's why everything is sacred. So do you need to shift things to actually bring in that sense of reverence, to bring in that sense of well-being in your body? And like I said, if you need any support or guidance in this area, let me know. Put it in the comments or message me directly. Okay, just about ready to set you off into your beautiful week ahead. But before we do, we'll pull one of the Liberate Your Inner Truth cards. So just take another nice deep breath. Of course, that's the key piece here too, is find your rhythm. And your rhythm may be that you need to take things a wee bit slower, or speed things up, or check in with your inner guidance before you navigate into something, or change something, or release something. Releasing that propensity to feel lonely if that comes up. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. I am soothing. I love that. So let me read this out to you. To cultivate calm, tranquil, and soothing energy, I regularly place both hands over my heart and seek within. I trust my heart. It knows what I need. That's actually very much my truth. I really encourage you to keep coming back into that. Your heart's wisdom will never misguide you or take you somewhere that is not right for you. But it's so important to remember to come back to it, and remember to come back to it regularly. I trust this makes sense and serves you well. I hope you have a beautiful week ahead, and I'll be back again with you next week.